Joyful message from Imanuel. For this earth, I am the Alpha and the Omega. I actually exist, even if I come to you from heaven. I will put you out of your misery. I will bring you peace. A person close to me lived on earth as an ordinary earthly person. I use him as my tool. This message of his has immeasurable importance and impact for humanity. He wasn't the only one we have a connection with. All are carefully selected by us, and they follow our instructions exactly. Therefore, their work is limited to these instructions. Orthon is the intermediary between me and Adamski to create a connection with the earth. The whole action is steered by me via Orthon. I will not use my true name until my day has come. Many people on earth will be moved by the grace when they meet one of our women, whose origin is not earthly, face to face. The birth of a new epoch is imminent, accompanied by preceding labor pains. I am always with you. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Humanity stands on the threshold of a total transformation of its thinking and ethics. Everyone gets the light of truth when the time comes. No one can escape my will. Nothing can prevent me from completing my work. A completely new way of life will be introduced, which is difficult for you to imagine. Nothing on this earth can stop my plans. Everyone has absolute freedom. No mental pressure is exerted on anyone, or anything is forced on them. The connections I have made with the earth are perfect and direct. When the keys are in the right hands and the gates are thrown wide, then my appearance will come into effect. Humanity will not be attacked by other civilizations. We would not allow such a thing. She is defeated by her own means and mistakes. Only in a borderline situation will humanity understand its mistakes and inability and accept our help with gratitude and understanding. The hour of our coming cannot be revealed to mankind. It is our secret and will remain so until we arrive. The time of our action does not even know those who are involved in it. Only I know the exact hour. None of the true prophecies give the exact time. There is a spiritual as well as material transformation. The appearance of superhuman help in the time of crisis is expected differently around the world, although it is about the same aspect, namely, according to the Bible, the second advent of Christ, or the coming of the Son of Man in the clouds. The events that were prophesied years ago are now about to be fulfilled. I took dominion over the earth. I am the one written and spoken about. I appear everywhere on earth. Great world events will soon take a fast course. Don't let panic overwhelm you. Trust me, the whole event is in my hands. When the negative events accelerate, then comes the great distress. It must be. No one can escape my will in the fulfillment of his destiny. The whole world will be a hot hell from which my kingdom, as a phoenix, will rise. My plan is perfect. Everything has been carefully prepared for this action. Everyone is placed according to their spiritual level. In my Father's house there are many mansions. I have a place for everyone, but there will be certain gradations of each. The chosen ones shall not doubt my help. Nothing was left to chance. You have to recognize the eternal laws, understand them, and follow them in practical life, so that you are capable of the spiritual transformation that is now to happen on earth with all those who will make an effort for it. Mental and physical changes are interdependent and closely related, so they will happen simultaneously. The transformation in spirit will only be experienced by those who are prepared for it. Others could abuse the new abilities and interfere with my plan. Man thinks he can see a large part of space through his telescopes, but in reality he sees less than a millimeter of it. Things will happen on earth that will seem merciless to many people, but they are a natural process because they will bring about the great purification. Events will soon reach such a speed that only those who want to understand will be included in our plan. Do not let external obstacles hold you back. Spiritual development should now have priority. Our help is granted to all those who will have an understanding of the millennium. Those who do not want to accept the new spiritual knowledge will suffer great mental and physical torment because it will help their spiritual growth. There are no nuclear weapons and explosions on Earth today, but I tell you, they will not be long in coming. Until then, we must be prepared for your rescue. I promise you that every starship will be where it's supposed to be, to the 10th of a millimeter, before our rescue operation begins. Before my arrival, the requirements of the law must be fulfilled, which says that we will only come in a physical way at the moment when people on Earth understand the eternal laws, and thus everyone fulfills the requirement to be able to understand it. Your Earth is not the only one inhabited by human beings in this solar system. There are more planets in it than human science has so far allowed. If we were to make a change right now that we are planning for later, it would take less than 10 years, and humanity would sink back to the same level it is at now. Therefore, we will only make the change when humanity will be on the brink of despair and hopelessness. Thanks to the new spiritual knowledge, she will be able to understand the state in which she has brought herself. Everything and everyone will be transformed so suddenly that no one will even recognize themselves. It will be a historic leap. The designation of this message, supermundane connection, means that at the appropriate time the Earth will be connected with higher material worlds through a supermundane rescue operation. At the critical moment, draw your attention to the request for supernatural help, for the success of which I can be held responsible. Turn your thoughts to God. I will do with the Earth what mankind has not even dreamed of. For a second, the Earth stops rotating on its axis. From that moment, I will change totally. The map of the Earth will be completely new. For those who were not able to successfully complete the school of life on Earth, the apprenticeship is over. They will no longer be able to develop here because they are backward. The world will get a common language from us. The new Earth humanity has many reasons for joy, regardless of what happens to others. Those who will come back to Earth will be given a new way of existence. Those who die will continue their evolution on lower planets in another embodiment. My arrival will be revolutionary. Nothing will remain of what now exists. The technical knowledge of people today is so perfect that even killing has reached a state of perfection. Were a helping hand not extended to mankind from above, all creatures on Earth would perish. The fire is used as a cleansing agent. The Earth is burned and purified by it. You will live 1,000 happy years on Earth. I will always be with you and show you the path of development. Man has a free will. Therefore, he must also find God himself of his own free will. Don't force my words on those who don't want to hear them. The church was established on Earth to proclaim my words, but she mismanaged my work. She didn't stand by me. Only some of her people have remained loyal to me. The church is nearing its end. My church, which I will establish on Earth, will consist only of believers and not of blind believers. It will no longer be a home visited on Sundays. It will be part of everyday life. Happiness and laughter and justice will reign everywhere. I no longer want to see priestly robes, but rolled-up sleeves and deeds. I am not honored by those who only read and pray with bowed heads, but by those who are ready to act and help. All religions will melt away. Only the truth is still valid. Only the purest remain who will be capable of spiritual transformation. In the new kingdom, man will not be old at the age of 70. He will live as long as his ancient ancestors lived, which is 600 to 1,000 years. The physical body, thanks to the well-developed spirit, will be capable of regeneration, i.e. complete renewal, at certain stages of old age. The government in the future age will be completely different than before. The world is guided by one place. Only those will be able to rule who have achieved perfect spiritual understanding, and they will also pass this on to others so that everyone can develop in infinite love and wisdom. I come to people physically so that they can gain a better understanding of God. The earth reaches a higher state of consciousness. Also, the consciousness of the whole materiality will reach a higher level. When man comes back to earth, it will be empty and bare. No creature would be able to live here unless it were granted help from above. If you will live according to the eternal laws, the stronger will always help the weaker. You too will then help the lower worlds that will be below you. In the millennium, man will be spiritually so high that later he will no longer need a physical body as he does today. The earth will gradually rise higher, and man too will become a purely spiritual being, through which he will then be able to understand God better. Man gets the new knowledge also in the space beyond the earth. Your plants will be much prettier. The animals will live together in harmony because they are no longer threatened by your consciousness. The prayer, "Thy kingdom come," is fulfilled in the new kingdom. Whoever hears my voice and believes that I am the one who is to come will be a witness from space beyond the earth, as the earth is cleansed by fire. Then he will come back to earth and live with me in daily dealings with a new understanding. Science knows about the great changes that have taken place in the development of plants and animals, but does not know how to explain them. They were called mutations that took place in rapid upward leaps. A similar shift is happening with humanity now. Spiritual understanding will not yet be entirely possible, but it will be raised so high that life will resemble a paradise on earth compared to today. Millions of people will be lifted to a higher level of life where everything will be completely different. Since man has free will, he has been allowed to go to the point of self-destruction in order to see what he has created in his ignorance. Our help is granted to all those who will prepare themselves by knowing the eternal laws and asking God for help. When hopelessness peaks, we will come physically. According to the Bible, I will come in the clouds with the heavenly host. Within half a year after the catastrophe, the earth will be regenerated and capable of new life. The law of interaction works in such a way that every action always comes back to its originator multiplied. After that, the school of life is automatically directed. Man gathers his experiences with the help of mistakes he makes. The key to the liberation of karma lies in the knowledge of the eternal laws. I am making you acquainted with my help now so that you are prepared and wait for it with confidence. I do not show myself to anyone without preparation, not even to our chosen people who live on earth with a mission. End of message.